Did you know that true leadership is not about the positions we hold or the bank accounts we have, but about the respect and humanity we show every day? It might sound like a revolutionary concept, right? But Mariana, an apparently ordinary and invisible woman, proved that the power to change everything around us lies in simple actions and gestures of kindness. Moreover, she showed that true transformation within a company, or any organization, begins with how we treat others, especially those who cannot offer us anything in return. While most people are concerned with climbing the ladder using titles and wealth as shields, Mariana used her anonymity to discover what truly mattered. And you? Are you ready to challenge what society says about success and start leading with character? Because true change begins when we decide to see beyond appearances and treat others with the dignity they deserve. If you think success is just about power, money, and positions, get ready for a surprise. The real lesson is coming. Mariana was one of those people no one really notices. Every day, she wore the cleaning uniform and went to work in a busy office building. Among all the people rushing with their tasks, she went unnoticed, like a shadow simply fulfilling her role. Those who looked at her saw nothing more than an anonymous employee, someone there just to clean and organize. It was almost as if she were invisible to the world around her. However, Mariana's story was quite different from what everyone imagined. She was the heir to a massive fortune, but she had made a very strategic choice: to live simply and go unnoticed. In fact, she chose this approach to better understand the dynamics of the people around her. She knew that the true essence of an environment is revealed when appearances are set aside, and she was determined to find out who, in fact, deserved her respect and trust. Few could imagine that this woman with a serene face and calloused hands, whom everyone thought was just a cleaning lady, was carrying a responsibility and power that many would never know. While most people were concerned with being seen and recognized, Mariana found value in remaining unnoticed. This allowed her to observe more clearly the actions and attitudes of people, without the filter of status or judgment. But the question that arose was, how long would she be able to maintain this disguise? After all, everyone was about to meet the real Mariana. After inheriting her father's fortune, Mariana didn't do what most people in her position would do. Instead of immediately assuming a leadership and power role, she opted for something more discreet and strategic: to remain anonymous. She knew the best way to understand a company, its dynamics, and the people within it was to experience the daily routine of someone without status. After all, those who aren't noticed can observe without being observed. That was her first step, a silent strategy full of wisdom. She wore the cleaning uniform not just as a piece of clothing but as a true armor that would allow her to see interactions at their purest level. By doing so, Mariana observed without being seen the behaviors, attitudes, and treatment of people toward each other. Every conversation, every gesture, every comment made while passing unnoticed in the hallway helped her understand who truly had character, who cared for the collective well-being, and who, in fact, hid behind appearances and positions. This strategy, far from being a way to underestimate people, was a precise method of evaluation. Mariana actually wanted to understand who was aligned with her values and who was merely hiding behind titles and positions. By disguising herself as a simple cleaning lady, she gained the key to understanding the true essence of those around her. This game of intelligence could reveal much more than any corporate meeting, much more effective than any executive report. But would this disguise last long enough for her to gather all the necessary information? The answer was about to emerge. In the midst of her silent journey as a cleaning lady, Mariana was confronted with something that, although predictable, still deeply bothered her: disrespect. Ricardo, the financial manager, Patricia, the chief secretary, and Mauricio, the director, were the three pillars of a hierarchy sustained by arrogance and superficiality. To them, Mariana was nothing more than another employee of no value, someone there just to fulfill a lowly task. As such, She was constantly the target of mockery, dismissive glances, and cruel jokes. What they probably didn't know was that Mariana was much more attentive to what was happening around her than they imagined. Their gestures of disdain, ironic smiles, and superior attitudes did not go unnoticed. She observed them calmly, understanding the depth of the masks they wore. But what was most troubling was not just the lack of respect regarding her position, but the way they treated everyone else around them with the same arrogance disguised as authority. In their minds, they were so sure of their superiority that they couldn't imagine that the true essence of a leader lies in how they treat those lower in the ladder. Mariana, however, knew that a person's character isn't revealed in moments of glory, but in the moments when no one is looking. She knew there was something deeper happening here. While being the target of humiliation from these three, she also quietly observed others around her, those who had nothing to gain from her. But would their arrogance last much longer? Or would the true nature of Mariana turn the tide? While Mariana faced the arrogance and disdain of Ricardo, Patricia, and Mauricio, there was also another side to the coin that made her reflect on the true value of the people around her. It was in contact with the simple, those who weren't trapped in the traps of power, that she found genuine gestures of kindness. Rafael, the doorman, Helena, the secretary, and Joao, the IT intern, were those who, with no interest or expectation, treated Mariana with humanity. They didn't see her as a cleaning lady but as someone with whom they could share a smile, a kind word, or even a conversation about life. These small gestures of respect and care didn't go unnoticed by Mariana. She began to realize that, although they were simple people without big roles in the company, they were the ones who truly possessed character. Rafael's generosity, Helena's friendliness, and Joao's humility showed that true power lies in how you treat others, not in appearances or titles. They treated her as an equal, with no judgment, no superiority, which made her feel, for the first time, truly recognized. It was the kind of respect she sadly didn't find in others. It was this genuine behavior that made Mariana start to question what truly mattered within a company. What was more valuable? Status or the actions you take day by day? And more importantly, what did this say about those in power positions and those at the bottom of the pyramid? This reflection motivated her to think about how she could transform the company's culture, but for that, she knew she had to act soon. Was she ready to take the next step? The answer was right there. The moment Mariana had been waiting for finally arrived, and what seemed like an unlikely scene became the purest truth. During a company meeting, in an act that shocked everyone present, she took off her cleaning uniform and revealed her true identity. The room went silent, and the silence was as dense as a veil. There she was, no longer the invisible woman everyone had ignored, but the true owner of the company. The faces of those who had underestimated her, like Ricardo, Patricia, and Mauricio, said it all, a mix of surprise, shame, and disbelief. Mariana took advantage of the moment to make a powerful statement. "I am not the cleaning lady, I am the owner of this company." What seemed like just a symbolic act actually carried a deeply significant message. She wanted everyone to understand that a person's true value doesn't come from the position they occupy but from the actions they take and the respect they show others. She observed not just the actions but the posture of everyone, and she was ready to act based on what she had learned about those around her. Upon her revelation, Mariana made the decision to change the company's course once and for all. Those who thought themselves superior, like Ricardo, Patricia, and Mauricio, were immediately fired, while those who had treated her with respect and humanity, like Rafael, Helena, and Joao, were promoted and recognized. The transformation had begun. But what did Mariana's revelation mean for the company's future? And what did it teach everyone about true power and leadership? The next step was already being taken. After Mariana's revelation, the transformation within the company was immediate and striking. Rafael, the doorman who had always been humble and helpful, now assumed the role of reception coordinator, a leadership position where he could continue to spread his kindness and care for everyone. Helena, the secretary who had always treated Mariana with respect, was promoted to head secretary supervisor, now with the responsibility of managing a team and ensuring the environment was run fairly and collaboratively. Joao, the IT intern who never hesitated to offer a word of support, was promoted to analyst and even received a scholarship to further his education in the field. For all of them, the reward was not just the position but the genuine recognition of their actions. Mariana knew that transformation wasn't just about changes in positions, but about the culture she was creating within the company. She wanted to show everyone that success isn't measured by power, but by the ability to treat people with dignity, respect, and humanity. When employees' actions are based on solid values, the workplace becomes much more than a place for transactions and hierarchies. It transforms into a space for mutual growth, where everyone has the opportunity to learn, evolve, and contribute to collective success. Mariana's change was creating a culture of true leadership, where respect came first. She wasn't just promoting the humble. She was making it clear to everyone else that success would only come to those who cared about the people around them. The company was beginning to reflect her values. But as everyone knew, true change would only happen if everyone was willing to adopt this new vision. What would come next? The future was about to be rewritten. At the end of all the transformation, Mariana left a clear and profound message for everyone. Positions and money do not define character. What defines us is how we treat those who cannot offer us anything in return. This phrase echoed through the company's hallways and in the hearts of all who heard it. It was the final lesson that a person's true value doesn't come from their possessions or position, but from how they treat others, especially those who have nothing to offer. Mariana, with her wisdom, showed that true leadership comes from simple yet powerful actions. The transformation that Mariana caused in the company was more than just a structural change. It was a change in mentality. She didn't just reward those who demonstrated humanity. She also taught that in life, the values and the way we treat others are what truly define us. As the company adjusted to this new philosophy, its employees began to reflect on their own actions and attitudes day by day. They now understood that success, when based on mutual respect and kindness, becomes something far more meaningful than a simple title or salary. And so, Mariana's story didn't stay confined to the walls of the company. It spread, inspiring others to rethink their own concepts of success and leadership. Because in the end, what remains are not the positions, but the actions and examples we leave for others. And true change, as Mariana proved, begins when we set aside appearances and begin to value people for who they truly are. Now that you understand the true essence of leadership and character, what will you do with this knowledge? The transformation that Mariana brought didn't just happen within the company, but in the minds and hearts of all who witnessed her action. When you treat people with respect, regardless of their position or what they might offer you, you begin to create a genuine impact. How will you apply this to your own life? Are you ready to change the way you lead and interact with others? Remember, what really matters isn't the position or the wealth, but the character and humanity we show in our daily actions. Now it's your turn to make a difference. If you want to continue learning how to apply these principles and transform your reality, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the notifications. We're just beginning the journey to true and authentic success.